let me introduce another very key person to me. Over here is the Eco Director, my close friend and colleague, Mr. Sanat Vilaratna. In his hand, basically, this is a spectacle cobra that he has just rescued from one of the rooms. And this specific cobra was basically Sanat. Here's this. This is the rubber. I'm just going to hand over the hook that has the rubber tip on it, so the snake is
And this is the one that was caught in the trash room, and you can see that he's, rubbed his nose trying to get out of the screen of the trash room. All the trash and garbage is recycled here at this hotel.
Absolutely. That's one of the key. Let me explain to you what's going on very quickly here. Currently, this is a very common process for cobras. Whenever they're first caught, they defecate very rapidly. It's very, very common, especially for wild caught. What happened basically here right now is that when this particular cobra was basically contained in the trash room, it was rubbing his rostral against the door or the cement of the room, and basically it hurt its rostral. So basically what we're going to do is that we had some Jensen violet, Jensen violet basically to prevent any infection from taking place. And that's what Sanat is right now currently doing, just to prevent any further infection from taking place. He's using a pair of forceps to go ahead and administer the antibiotic right now. Right. A little description of the common cobra. Common cobra or spectacle cobra, Indian cobra, is native to Southeast Asia, predominantly India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and other extremities of Southeast Asia. This is the most famous cobra that's basically encountered with snake charmers. It is a spectacle because of the spectacle that it inhabits right on the perimeter. Basically, the cobra, this particular cobra is of great significance to Buddhists. It is the cobra that basically gave the Buddha protection during his meditation. And right now, basically, Sanat is letting this cobra soak because it is molting. And at this phase, as you can see that the eyelids have turned opaque blue, and it is rather irritated right now because the fact is that its vision is impaired right now, and Sanat is soaking it so it's loosen up the molting process so it can go ahead and shed. So a little bit of hydration right now is crucial. And let me introduce you to my close friend and colleague, Mr. Sanat Vilaratna. Sanat is one of my closest friends. He's like my brother, and basically he's the only one that I go on the field in Sri Lanka with. Sanat is the one that's basically responsible for all of the rehabilitation of reptiles within this area. Sanat is self-taught, he's passionate, and he's a true snake handler. A lot of people claim to be snake handlers, but when it comes to where the rubber meets the road, a lot of people can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk, as we call it. Sanat is very passionate about rescues. He's available 24 hours a day as part of the Eco Director Animator for Kandalama Hotel. He can get calls at 2 o'clock in the morning with a reptile in a particular room, and his job is to go and relocate these reptiles. 99% of the time, what he does is he relocates them temporarily to these holding places. So if you see these cages and the way they're constructed, please don't be critical in condemning it. We don't keep these snakes here on a long-term process. Most of these snakes here are only kept for a few days, and then they're relocated back into the wild. Again, this was basically rescued in one of the rooms, Sanat?
Yes, it was in a room.
It was in a room.
Yeah.
And we have probably had this cobra for about a week?
Yes.
About a week. And it is currently molting. So it's shedding. And that's the reason it's a little bit irritated.
Yeah.
Okay. And it had some rostral damage from trying to escape and its cape is roasted. And then the common treatment for that as antibiotic is that Jensen violet. Okay, and do you put that once a day or twice a day for this particular snake? And you release it into the wild. So basically, you probably wait till the snake sheds its skin, and then you release it back into the wild. Okay, that's wonderful. And right now, you're just basically letting it go ahead and stay in the water so it will soften up the scales, aiding in the skin to be basically peeled off on its own. Go ahead. Jevan right now is basically covering the snake in detail. He's basically showing you the spectacle cobra. In a little bit of some herpetology information, let me share what the snakes of Sri Lanka are. The most common 4 snakes are venomous snakes that are important in Sri Lanka medically. Under the lapids will be is the common Indian cobra or the spectacle cobra. This is a snake that contributes to most of the agricultural bites. I'll rephrase that. This is a snake that is encountered either in terrestrial, arboreal, and it is a common venomous snake found throughout human habitation in Sri Lanka. Wherever there is human habitation, you would find the cobra, because the cobra comes in searches of rats and it coexists with humans. It is normally unmolested because it is of significant value to the Buddhists because of ancestral worship. People think that the cobra is a reincarnated individual of one of their family members. So it is a common snake. It is a neurotoxin. It is also, with the bite of this particular cobra, is respiratory failure and necrosis. Is some of the what happens when you're bitten by this cobra is basically necrosis, and it's a neurotoxin that basically affects your respiratory system, and you go into respiratory failure. So this is one of the elapids that's found in Sri Lanka. The other elapid that is of significant value that I'll also be showing you is the common crate, also known as Bungara ceruleus. We have them on our show too, so we'll be showing that to you. Out of the vipers, the true vipers, we have the Russell's viper, which is also known as the Boya russalai. And the 4th snake of medical importance is a true pit viper. It is the known as hypnale or the hump nose viper. Those are the 4 snakes that are medically significantly important currently in Sri Lanka. There are other venomous snakes like the Ceylon crate, the green pit viper, and the slender coral snake that are not that important because they do not make it into the statistics of Sri Lanka. The 4 snakes that we are concerned about is Naja, the Boya russalai, Bungara ceruleus, and hypnale. And those are the 4 snakes that we want to cover right now and show you what they're all about. Can we cut this one, sir? Okay, are you going to put this snake back?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.